Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. Do you like your stories told through pictures? Then you can also follow us at Real Nerds on Instagram. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Camera, action!
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd can...
talk film! I'm sorry.
Take it outside.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action! Real nerds.
Well, welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, live at FanExpo 2025. I am Ryan, and I am joined by Northern Colorado's first sci-fi...
Yep, Star Trek sci-fi fantasy group, the USS Cordilleron. So I'm the captain, Captain Deidra.
Captain Deidra, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. We were booth mates, kind of.
Yes.
So tell us about what inspired you to start that up north.
Oh, so kind of various reasons. Last year, July 2024, I went to San Diego Comic-Con. And just as a, going around.
For fun?
For fun, yeah. And like here in the community zone, there was a Star Trek group set up, but they're a cosplay group. And just like if you know the more popular cosplays of Star Wars, like the 501st or the Mandalorians that marched through here earlier, there is a Star Trek version of it. But with all of these groups, you're affiliated, like the 501st Mandalorians, whatever, affiliated with Lucasfilm in some way, so there's very strict requirements.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Star Trek group, affiliated with Paramount, so there's very strict, expensive costuming requirements. Cool thing, though, is you get tapped to go to, like, children's hospitals or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a trade-off. So I was talking to them, and they pitched me starting a group because their cosplay group, they didn't really have anything out in Colorado. So I did research, and there was actually so cosplay is not the only type of Star Trek or Star Wars groups out there. There's a variety kind of with different niche focuses.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so there is actually a non-cosplay Star Trek group in Denver called the USS Tiburon. So I reached out to the Tiburon, was speaking to them. They're actually one of the oldest Star Trek groups in the United States.
Really?
Their displays right on, it's in the same they have quite possibly one of the sweetest Star Trek displays I've ever seen with the transporter, the Borg generator, all of that over there, and tons of other cool stuff. And I realized that there was nothing north, and there was nothing in Wyoming. And compared to where I used to live, like, it's not that much, for me at least, to traverse I-25, but it is an hour to an hour and a half drive, and most people don't want to, do that, especially after work on the weekends. So I thought, hey, why don't I start something up north, in Fort Collins, and basically cover from Loveland to Cheyenne. But then I'm not just Star Trek. I may be dressed as Data-esque today, but I love everything Star Wars. I'm reading Brandon Sanderson. George R. Martin's my favorite author, of Game of Thrones fame. And so I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to broaden it. This is my group. I can do whatever I want. So I'm going to broaden it a little to have, yes, Star Trek in this tagline, but make it Star Trek sci-fi and fantasy. And then I decided on the name Cordilleron. And there's only one person this entire show who knew what the name was, and he's Brazilian. He's from that, whatever that gaming thing is over there. And it's actually a Spanish word meaning ribbon or string. And that's the technical type of mountains the Rocky Mountains are. They're a ribbon or string of mountains going through Colorado up into Canada and down south.
Oh, wow.
So most people don't know they're called the Cordillera string of mountains. So
I didn't know. I learned something new today, and I lived here my whole life.
Exactly. So that's how I came up with the name USS Cordilleran. Very
cool. And so do you feel now that you're filling a need up there? How is membership, and is it going well?
Membership's going okay. We're slowly building. We just launched beginning of this year, so we're we're in our infancy. My entire life I've been involved in volunteer groups. I've led groups, all with like a community give back basis. Mm-hmm. I've been the president of the Citizens Emergency Response Team, CERT, which helps assist first responders. Mm-hmm. It's backed by FEMA, and handled city budgets through that and whatever. But going back to your question about membership, I've never launched a group quite like this before, like a sci-fi fantasy. It's a social group. Mm-hmm. Like mostly I've done strictly 501c3 nonprofits.
Gotcha.
Or something with, like the community give back. So another new thing for me is social media, which is a huge way to draw people in these days. That's the primary way. Like I old school printed flyers, hung them up around Fort Collins, but that's nothing these days. And I am not great with social media. So I got the website going. I was doing like a C+ job on the Facebook. I have a commander and I have an executive officer who are handling, now have taken over the social media. So they started a DeviantArt, a Discord, an Instagram, but those are still young too. So we're picking up members slowly but surely, and we definitely have gotten a fair amount of interest here. I'm pleased. Cool. We're going to be at the Fort Collins Comic-Con too. I think that because that's right in our zone, we'll get even more. We'll see what translates from interest to actually membership. My friend is at the booth. She's one of the members, and she has a small business, Glitter Geek Boutique. She's selling stuff and returning a percentage of the sales to our group, because we're trying to go back to one of my things that's important to me is charity or give back. We want to start a big annual fundraiser in Fort Collins.
Oh, very cool.
Starting next June 2026, but we need to have base members, base funds, and all of that to start it.
Very cool. And so is that the overall mission for you then, is get members, celebrate sci-fi, and then also give back to the community?
Precisely. Perfect way to sum it up. Yeah. So, we have a meeting every month. We have a short story discussion group every month. Then we also do another event every month. So like this month, besides being here at the, we're having a Star Trek Strange New Worlds drop party at the library. The library actually in Fort Collins has this very nice audio-visual system, a really great setup, and they're supportive of, community groups. So, exactly. You summed it up perfectly. A social group, but a social group with a give back purpose.
That's very cool. And so what is the focus of the give back? Are you focusing on children, on literacy? What is the overall, what you want to focus on in that part?
So once we get a little closer, I'm actually going to have the group, because I want us to be as democratic as possible. I don't want to be authoritarian.
No, it's more fun.
It's more fun, but, so we're going to have people submit causes, and then submit, basically justifications, and then as a group have an anonymous vote, a blind vote.
And I guess doing that way too, you could change it every year.
Exactly. So you'll see built into our website already, I have a place for the charities, and you can see like charity one we gave to, they're blank right now because we haven't started, but so we're going to switch every year, or depending on what the group's interests are, so that we do something that the whole group feels like they're happy to support, or the majority have decided on.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What else can we talk about? You tell me.
So as you've noticed, I am on crutches right now.
Yes.
So one of the other things I do is martial arts, and I would like to thank you. You're a very nice man, and requesting or volunteering or trying to help me move things, even if I am stubborn sometimes and decline assistance when logically I should accept it. But I've also been doing martial arts for over 30 years.
Wow.
And I will say that it's fun, but I do it in Fort Collins, and I'm now in my 40s trying to do martial arts with 20-year-olds, and that's a little brutal on the body, as you can see. Yeah.
And especially if you've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
My guess is, just because we've talked, you had surgery. I'm guessing the wear and tear eventually catches up to you.
And that was exactly what it was. The wear, there was at martial arts and jiu-jitsu. I have a black belt in Taekwondo, and
Nice.
I'm a 4-stripe blue. So if I had not been injured, I would have, from what my professor said, my instructor, I would have been a purple, which is like a mid-level in jiu-jitsu by this point. But, what the doctor said, there was an injury, but it was largely wear and tear, and I just basically destroyed my hip, and then there was like that final straw moment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that did it in. So in theory, I'll be good. I'm trying to follow the doctor's orders, but it's been a long recovery process, and I'm not going to be cleared until after Thanksgiving.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
The only injury I've really had is I was a senior in high school, and I was in Greece, and I was also the student director, and I had to block people dancing, and I ran to the stage, and I went to jump, and I rolled my ankle at the same time. So I didn't tear my tendons, but I stretched them really far. And so they put me in this half boot for 2 weeks, and then I had to wear an air cast for 6 weeks. Well, I had to do the show in the meantime, and I thought the air cast was stupid, so I got rid of it. To this day, my ankle still hurts. So if there's anything I can impart on anybody is maybe listen to the doctor.
And I am learning the hard way, too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say this is one of many injuries in my life. I used to be very highly competitive in martial arts and Taekwondo primarily. Lots and lots of competitions.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard on your body. When I was younger, I used to recover better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you have any young listeners, it's definitely beneficial to follow what the doctor says because, I'm paying the piper these days.
It's funny you say that because I used to, it's always a joke. Like, you get older, it takes longer, and you don't believe it. But there'll be days when I wake up, I was like, why do I hurt? Like, did I lay wrong? But it's a real thing. And
it really is.
in my real job, I do. I'm an officer, so I do have to do Krav Maga. And the last time they're starting to incorporate actually jiu-jitsu with it, and we were doing this stand from your back to a base and then stand. I tore a muscle right here. Oh man, took like 6 weeks to heal. And, of course, I didn't stop. I just kept participating, and it just made it worse.
Yeah, and that's the rough thing is, like, with this hip injury, I went actually for a couple of months still participating. It hurt a lot. So I also do acro yoga, partnered acrobatics, and softball and stuff. And so, like, it hurt a lot, but I thought it was a strain. I thought it was like I'm in my mid-40s strain. It'll get better. But it wasn't getting better. And, the doctor said had I got stubbornness, had I gone in earlier, and I'm not anti-doctor, I just didn't think of it. Like, it didn't occur to me.
When you're an athlete, you're just like, I'm going to get better.
Yeah, that was exactly what I thought. I just thought, it's a strain. Like, give it a couple weeks or a couple months, and it'll improve. But it didn't. Finally had some sense knocked to me that maybe like this is lasting a little too long, and by that point I had just destroyed my hip to the point of needing surgery.
Yeah. Oh man. What you say is just everything that, even I do it. You try to put it off, and even like a muscle tear right here. I'm like, I'll keep going. I'll be fine. And then the next day I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
And then 6 weeks later, what is wrong with me when I pick something up and I can still feel it?
Yep.
And it's just, I could have stopped and probably not made it worse. But, the competitiveness in you, even though we're just, training and stuff, but you still want to be good. So you just keep going and you keep going and your strikes are hard. And
exactly.
I feel you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been, so I've only been able to put weight on it for a few weeks now. I'm doing fairly well. But for over 6 weeks, I couldn't put any weight on it. I had to use walkers, crutches full time. And a month before the surgery, I got a puppy. I have an adult dog. I got a puppy. I do not recommend getting a 3-month-old puppy and then having surgery. So I think you're moving pretty well. Thank you.
And how hard was it for yourself mentally to not be able to move like you used to. That has to be super tough.
It's incredibly hard because I'm used to like even just I'm very active.
Yeah.
And I'm used to just being able to do with my body, whatever it needs to be done, get it done, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's been rough. Like, I can put full weight on it now, but I can't walk distances. And like, being a first-time exhibitor, long-time attendee, first-time exhibitor to here or community zone exhibitor, like the walk around this, I can't, walk the distance. I have a mile limit at walk, but like that's working up to that, and I haven't been able to work up. And so it's just been really hard to try to, like, I forgot at one point I like was a day into being able to put weight on my leg. The phone rang and I tried to run for it, and that was not a great moment. So like, it's a learning process, but I am trying to do the best I can because I don't want to get injured this way again. So I want to make sure it heals right.
I hope you don't.
Thank you.
And keep going. Where can we find you on social and a website so we can learn more information?
So US Cordilleron is across all social medias. Our website is the best. If you just type it in, you can't get to it if you use Google and type it in, because I didn't pay for the website and Google's blocking it from showing up on their search results. But you can click through our Facebook, our Instagram, our DeviantArt, our Discord, and you can get to our website. Facebook and website are kept up to date. The other social medias are getting up to date right now since they're more newly launched.
Well, thanks for taking time
Thank
to
you.
speak with us.
Yes, thank
and
you.
we'll post this soon.
Great.
Thanks, Cap.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A real nerd knows who shot. A real nerd can follow the plot. And a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action. Real nerds.
Thanks for listening to Real Nerds Podcast, a Nebulous Visions production. Stream or download episodes, read articles at realnerdspodcast.com. Stream us on Apple or Google Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, or iHeartRadio. Follow us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast, Twitter and Instagram at Real Nerds. Watch us on YouTube, Real Nerds Podcast. Email us at realnerds@gmail.com. Call us at 720-6nerds5. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill, Mike at Plan 9 Studios, and Bolognium for all of our groovy theme songs. And that's how you fucking do it.